right, hello everyone. Today we are talking about executive condominiums, also known as ECs. And today we are so delighted to have two EC owners with us, and they are Andy and Danny. Right, thank you guys for coming. Yeah. Now there is a lot of assumptions about ECs from the ground. Okay, so let's hear from our EC owners how they feel about these assumptions. All right, assumption number one. EC is a HDB flat with 5 years MOP.
From the very first day, EC is just considered like a private condominium status. Just that EC is governed by HDB regulations, which means that we still enjoy the benefit and subsidies as a Singaporean citizen.
So I guess our assumption is incorrect, right?
Yes,
that
definitely
EC
wrong
is a
assumption.
HDB flat. All right, assumption number two. EC prices are so high today. Some condos are also selling at such prices. It is not worth it to buy an EC today.
I would say today, if you are looking at the brand new launch in the OCR region, they are easily transacted starting pricing from more than 2,000 per square foot. But today, if you are able to enter a brand new EC at about 1,500 PSF, you are entering at minimum 500 PSF lower. And with that, it translates to a more potential upside in the future. Then moreover, if you are actually talking about those resale EC, if those of them, they have actually bought, like example, 6 to 7 years ago, they are easily entering at about 800, 900 PSF. And today, if you are going to enter at close to 1,000, 4,005 PSF today, basically you are actually entering at a high. And you will not be able to enjoy what we call the first mover advantage compared to the first owners.
All right, so later we will find out from these two owners what kind of profit they are sitting at. Yeah. All right. Assumption number three. ECs that are further away from MRT is not a good buy.
This is definitely a wrong assumption once again. I guess statistics has proven that. Let me just quote two examples. For example, Wonderview and Seoul Cross, both are located in Choa Chu Kang. So statistics and data and figures have shown that both of them are transacting at very similar PSF. So I guess it defies the logic or assumption that ECs that are located further away from MRT are not worth considering at all.
So basically, if you qualify to buy an EC, you must grab it.
Yes.
Regardless whether is it near or
Just
far the
take it.
MRT, right?
Just take it.
All right. Assumption number four. I have to sell my HDB flat now to buy an EC. It is so troublesome to go through the process.
Actually, EC has this very wonderful scheme called the deferred payment scheme, where basically the purchaser just have to put in a down payment of 20% cash, and the balance he can settle upon TOP. So within the 3 to 4 years while under construction, they can continue to stay in their HDB flat. So upon collection of the keys of the EC, they have actually 6 months to sell their HDB flat. So with that, it makes it a very seamless transition from a HDB to their new private home.
So I guess they only need to move once.
Yes, that's right.
So what is troublesome about it?
Yeah.
Nothing.
All right. Assumption number five. I cannot take GRUN when I buy an EC, but it's still considered a subsidy, and I have to pay a levy in future.
I guess you are talking about those who earns more than $12,000 combined income. There'll be no grant. But if you actually earn between 10 to 12,000, you still eligible for some grants available. So moreover, if today there is no this what we call the subsidized housing of EC, you would have to enter a brand new launch at more than 2,000 per square foot. So today, with this EC scheme, you are able to enter at much lower subsidized pricing, which is only a privilege for Singaporeans.
So I guess the rules and regulations does help Singaporeans to upgrade to a private property through ECs, right?
That's right.
Yes.
All right, we have come to the end of our assumptions. So let's find out a bit more from our EC owners, right? Like, why do they choose to buy an EC? Why not BTO? Why not new launch condo? And maybe we can find out a little bit more from them. So, Andy, what have you bought?
I purchased Wonderview back then, probably about in the year of 2015. Reason why my wife and myself, back then we were without any kids, but we all along we have always liked to enjoy a facility, a place that has private condominium facilities like swimming pool, gym, etc. So we took the plunge. We did whatever we could to purchase the EC, and here we are doing the sharing with everyone who expires or anyone who expires to purchase an EC as well. Yeah.
What about you, Danny?
I bought Osville Residences in 2012.
2012.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's about
11
10
years
years
ago, right? Yeah.
10 years.
So basically, the main reason was because my wife was an ex-valuer. And that time she actually prompted me about this previous EC, which is called Bishan Loft. So at that time, they were already sitting on very good profit margin. So after we did our sums, we decided to bypass the BTO and directly bought our first EC as our first home.
Oh, so you mentioned about sitting on good profits, right? So now, can you share with us how much have you made from your EC?
Oh, I sold my EC in 2019. So that time I made a profit about 300 over 1,000.
300 over 1,000. You bought in 2012, sold in 2019, 7 years, 300 over 1,000. Quite a fair deal of money, yeah?
Yes,
Andy,
For myself, currently I have yet to sell my EC. Definitely planning to. So based on the paper calculations, I am looking at approximately about 650,000 plus. Yeah.
600 over 1,000 of profit sitting there in his EC. Oh
Yeah.
my God. So how do buyers afford to buy an EC, right? Considering that it's actually under MSR framework. Okay, as we know, MSR is actually 30%, right? So how do buyers actually afford to buy an EC?
First of all, they can consider to purchase under the deferred payment scheme. So
Yep.
they are, like I mentioned earlier, just put in the 20% down payment. And within the next 3 to 4 years, I'm sure if you have been diligently working, you will be getting salary increment. And moreover, people do change jobs. So with each job change, they will get a salary adjustment.
So adding on to what Danny has mentioned, the deferred payment scheme is only applicable for EC purchase. So if any of the individuals or family members, are looking at purchasing an EC and you are quite limited, do look at or do explore any options of seeking your family or your parents' help, their assistance to come by the show flat as well to take a look, because this is something that we mentioned that it should not be missed. So definitely look for parental support or family support to come by the show flat as well to do a review of the flat.
So I guess we got to sell this idea to your parents, bring them down
Yes.
to the show flat, and then we
we-
will tell them
And we will do the job.
why they should
Yeah.
support their children, right? For
Yes.
ECs.
Yes, we will explain that. Yes.
All right. Okay, so is the 5 years MOP an issue for you?
To me, it's not an issue because generally, right, it takes about 3 to 4 years for the building to be constructed and then another 5 years of MOP stay. In Singapore real estate, it generally takes a few years for it to actually gain this what we call the capital appreciation.
Yeah, so I think in our real estate cycle, right, if we are looking at about always like 10 to 15 years, right? So 3-4 years to build and then 5 years to
years
stay
to
in.
MOP.
So we are about there, right?
Yes.
About 9 to 10 years, and then we are ready to cash out from it and then make
Yes.
a good profit out of it,
Next
right?
next move.
So I guess this 5 years MOP is never going to be an issue for us, yeah?
Nope.
Right?
Not an
Okay,
issue.
so lastly, guys, what advice would you give to people who aspire to upgrade to a private property?
My advice is that just do whatever it takes to get it, because in my opinion, EC is something that doesn't come and go here and then. Every year we are looking at probably 1 or 2 projects coming by. So once you miss this opportunity, you might not have the next opportunity to get it again. So like myself, I did whatever it takes to purchase an EC. So my advice is just do what it takes. Just do what it takes to get an EC. Yeah.
For me is just do your sums and you find that it's affordable. I would suggest you to look at the biggest possible unit. Because as I mentioned earlier, the gap between the EC and the brand new launch is actually at least 500 PSF. So today, if you can get a 4-bedroom at less than $2 million compared to a brand new launch, this is basically something that is worthwhile to consider.
All right, so the two advice from our EC owners is just do it and get the biggest unit. Right. Okay, thank you guys for coming over here to share with us about executive condominiums. Right, and we really enjoyed this session together, and then we will like to see you at the next EC launch. Thanks for watching. Bye.